Okay, this is the news of November 1st, 2021. Oh my gosh, this year has gone so breakneck fast. And folks, I don't have any channel sponsors this time around. That's okay, because we're just going to jump right into things here with the very first piece of news coming from ProWritingAid. Now, ProWritingAid, believe it or not, is not just a software that helps you craft better writing, but it's also a great resource for online writing classes. And some of them are, ready for this, 100% free. Yeah, that's right. 100% free between ProWritingAid's NaNoWriMo write-ins, kickoff session, ProWritingAid 101. You've got other ones here. So folks, go take a look at ProWritingAid. I'm going to put a link over to that. You can literally go over to ProWritingAid.com/webinars if you want to take a look at some of their events. And also you can see some of their previous events as well. Always very informative. They put on a great show. Don't miss out on that. And speaking of great show and good showing here, Evan Gav just dropped another little bit of an update here when it came to beta reader customizations and something that they call breadcrumbs. And we know it popularly. Breadcrumbs is, whenever I say a browse path over on Amazon, typically there's a parent category of some sort. So we'll say it's the Kindle store. And then below that could probably be nonfiction. And below that could be home workouts. And below that could be 30-minute workouts, so on and so forth. Those are breadcrumbs. And it gets it to where people can kind of track back to specific areas within a portion of your account with StoryOrigin. Folks, you can get your hands on StoryOrigin. Visit my affiliate link over at dalelinks.com/StoryOrigin today. Alrighty, next item up in the news. This one's a big one. I was super excited about this. Folks, never, ever, don't let friends just go ahead and put out random links to their books. Random links being, I'm going to send somebody over to Amazon.com. I'm going to put that on Twitter. But the problem is, what if someone sees it in the UK or Brazil or Japan? They're left out in the cold and they've got to try to figure it out on their own. And spoiler, they're not going to try to track that down unless they're a super hardcore fan. That's why you should be using Books to Read. That's the number 2, by the way. Books to Read is a fantastic free service put out by Draft to Digital. And this past week, they made a big announcement. In fact, they said, when we launched Books to Read and the eligibility for authors to freely create universal book links, otherwise called UBLs, for their ebooks, we always meant for it to be truly universal. We made sure our links are retail platform inclusive and geo-targeted, which automatically routes people to the localized version of their favorite online retail store. Pretty much validating what I just said. Not long after partnering with Findaway Voices to help authors with audiobook creation and distribution, we added an option for authors to add audiobook links to UBLs. Pretty cool, right? And now we're pleased to announce that you can add print book links to your UBLs. Users now have the option of adding 3 different types of print links. You've got trade paperback, you've got hardcover, and you've got large print. Folks, it is free to do. Literally all you got to do is go to books2read.com. I've got no affiliate link. I probably could get one, but I'm just not going to bother. Just go to books2read.com. Get yourself set up. If you already have a Draft to Digital account, just use that login and it'll get you on in there. Start using universal book links. You will thank me. You will thank me for this one. And speaking of thanking me, you'll hopefully thank me that I have some more information when it comes to Barnes & Noble Press. They just put out an email this last week. It's getting closer to the busiest time of the year, holiday season, and things are a little different this year, so we want to make sure you're prepared and able to plan ahead. They have a holiday ordering deadline, so if you use Barnes & Noble Press, you're going to need to order your copies by November 5th, all right? So today's the first of me doing this. We got another 4 days. Now, they mentioned some webinars, but to be honest with you, I think it's really sales-based, so I don't want to recommend that. Kudos to you guys for the hustle. All right, up next here, we've got PublishDrive. Guess what? They just recently announced that they have a partnership a relationship, I should say, with the fine folks over Ingram Content Group. This means they've got distribution for their print on demand things. And there were a lot of questions that cropped up, including, let's see here, is there a hardcover option for Ingram? Not yet, but there will soon be available. Okay, so even though they've got Ingram Content Group for distribution, this doesn't necessarily mean they have direct access over to Ingram Spark. So that means that there's not all the options you'd like to do. Can I order author copies through Ingram? Not yet, but it will soon be available. Can I send my books? So these Q&As, this FAQs, if you will, are available over on PublishDrive's blog, publishdrive.com/IngramQuestionsAndAnswers.html. I'll drop a link over onto that. It's something worth looking into, especially if you're utilizing the PublishDrive platform. I am just beyond tickled to death that this past week, a good friend of mine and a big supporter of this channel, Dave Chesson, officially launched something that he's been working on for a while now, and that is the new writing software, Atticus. I will be using Atticus most likely in my writing sprint, so you get a good idea as to how it looks and how it functions. Write and format stunning books, create professional print books and ebooks easily with an all-in-one book writing software. There are so many cool things about Atticus. Let me go ahead. I'm going to pull this on up. So you can go in from grab, let's say, for instance, I'll go ahead and grab this right here. So look at this, how it's nicely organized. We can put in front matter, title page, copyright page, table of contents. We've got the back matter. We can even go in and do backup. There's even more tools they're going to be rolling out, and I'm real excited about one of these. It's a timer. There's going to be a timer incorporated in it. But for right now, we have in the more tools section, actual goals you could set. So you can see my goal was to, get 30,000 words by November the 14th. So it's going to be hustle time. Any rate, I don't have an affiliate link on this one. There's no affiliate program for Atticus. Otherwise, I'd give it to you. So just go to atticus.io if you would like to get yourself access right away. I'm not sure what the full retail price is on it. Let's go ahead. It's at $147 right now. So really good. Honestly, if you've been on the fence about buying any type of writing software out there, Atticus might be the solution for you because it's put out by the same folks of Publisher Rocket. So you can anticipate they're going to do nothing but try to make this software the best that it can for you. All right, moving forward here, my goodness, we've got a lot of news items, and Streetlib blog just announced they have audio distribution to Spotify, Deezer, YouTube Music, and more through a new partnership with a company called Contour New Media. If you happen to be utilizing Streetlib, this would probably be a great opportunity for you to distribute your audiobook to different areas. For right now, I have not tried Streetlib. Someone asked me in the comments on a previous podcast, what was my payout like, or did I get my payout in a timely fashion? I have not tried Streetlib before. I just cover them because they're an aggregate publisher that's making a little bit of noise in this industry, and I highly recommend you take a look into them, especially when you're looking at audiobook distribution, which we're going to be recording today's podcast where we're covering Audible Gate. So having some different alternatives might help you out just a little bit. Speaking of audiobook alternatives, Findaway Voices has a bit of an update on one of their partners called Beek. Now they're changing their business model. All Findaway Voices titles will be offered under the new pool model. Now, pool being kind of like what we're doing with Kindle Direct Publishing's Select program. There is the KDP Global Select Fund that is rolled out every year. So everybody, pretty much the customers, order a membership. Let's say it's $10 per month, and all those customers' money goes into a pool, and then it's evenly distributed out amongst all rights holders who are involved in this. So if you're not keen on having your book presented that way, your audiobook through Findaway Voices, you can always just deselect and just opt out of it. I think it'd be absolutely crazy, but if you're the type of person that doesn't like to get nickels and dimes for your audiobooks and would rather not have it available through pool-based systems, go ahead, deselect it. I will not think any less of you. And by the way, here's a little bit of interesting news that I thought I would go ahead and bring to your attention. This one actually comes from patch.com. Just a friendly reminder, actually, and I've talked about this on the podcast many times before. Publish your audiobook with the Portland Public Library. And this is actually written by one of the librarians here. and pretty much says this. You're doing NaNoWriMo. You're probably going to be putting together some type of work. Might we recommend that you consider listing your ebook in the local library? It's free to do in a lot of instances. Now, keep in mind, you probably say, okay, what type of books do libraries accept? It varies. It depends. And if you're going in there with some JoJo looking beat up cover and poor editing, chances are very likely a library is not going to want to take it. In fact, I know of some libraries that if they see even one typo, they will reject your self-published book because they don't want that. I just spoke with a self-published author more recently, and he had one little typo, and it was just a single typo. And you could understand what he was saying, but it was inside his kid's book, and the library was like, no, we're not taking your book. And when he fixed it, they're like, sure, we'll gladly take your book. So folks, look into local libraries. If there's one area that you should try to tap into, that is the local libraries, and it can be to your benefit to reach out to this audience. Maybe do a little bit of volunteer work, maybe consider doing a book club of some sort, maybe consider meeting up with other authors during NaNoWriMo. That might be an opportunity to get you in front of a new audience, a new set of people, a new set of eyes, and especially the library staff who's going to see you making an effort within the community, and they will be more than happy to support you. Hey, that's the news for this week, folks. What did you think about some of these news items? Was there any particular news item that you like better than the other? And did I miss something over the course of the past week? Let me know inside the comments.